Hello and welcome to this episode of Ways to Change Your Workplace with myself, Prina Shah, where we uncover ways to make your workplace a much better place to be.
Hello, and welcome to this solo episode of the Ways to Change Your Workplace podcast with me, your host, Prina Shah, and I am talking about my book to you today. An aspect of my book. My book is called Make Work Meaningful, How to Create a Culture That Leaves a Legacy. And it was recently launched. So if you're listening right now in real time, then thank you for being a part of it. If you're listening in the future, then I hope that the book is still relevant and realistic to your current needs. And that's why you're listening. So today's episode, I want to talk about this word that people really freak out by, and the word is legacy, right? So my book is called Make Work Meaningful, How to Create a Culture That Leaves a Legacy. As soon as I use the L word, people start to freak out. People start to say that, oh, but I'm not at the end of my career yet. I haven't, impacted anything. I haven't left a legacy. To which I say, you create a legacy every single day. So let me give you my definition of legacy. Let's get into it. What do I mean by legacy? And I cover this in my book, Make Work Meaningful, How to Create a Culture That Leaves a Legacy. So in my book, what I've stated when I say, what do I mean by legacy? I say, by legacy, I mean the lasting impact and influence you leave behind in your professional sphere through your actions, contributions, decisions, and relationships. It encompasses positive changes, upheld values, and the inspiration provided to others. Legacy is not solely about grand achievements or recognition. It's about the meaningful difference that you create and the mark that you leave. It's aligning work with your deeper purpose and your values, striving to better the world, essentially. Legacy is the result of a purpose-driven career journey, extending beyond personal ambition to create a lasting impact. So, another way to look at it is a lot of questions. And I'm asking you questions in the book as well, as you've probably seen if you've got a copy. If you haven't, buy your copy. So another way to look at legacy, what do I mean by legacy is, what do I want people to remember me by after I have left this job? How do I want people to talk about me currently and as I move on? How do I want people to think about me? How do I want people to feel about the work I did and the work that I have left behind? How do I want my work and impact to others to be described and when I move on from this company and this industry? Or perhaps your legacy work will result in an anonymous legacy, one that you might not even be aware of, but one that affects people positively long after you have made your mark. Now, I am very mindful about the fact that I have asked you a lot of these questions in relation to another. How do I want people to talk about me? How do I want people to think about me? What do I want people to remember me by after I have left this job? Like, it's very other focused, as you have seen. Some people don't take well to this, but really my response to that is, when you work in a workplace, you're not only working by yourself. If you were, then you'd be a solopreneur, like me, right? When you work in a workplace, you're working in a collective. It's not just about you, it's about the impact that you're having on others, which is why I've got that other lens as well. So, as you know, we need to find better ways to change the workplace. And that's why I've called this podcast Ways to Change the Workplace. The purpose of this book is to provide a practical guide as you move through your various jobs during your career. I have tried and tested all of the activities which are mentioned in the book. The activities at the end of each chapter are designed to serve as your guide to make the changes that you need to make at work. This book is a lifelong tool for your career, and it can be applied to future jobs that you move on to as well. So let's make work meaningful together. And don't freak out about the word legacy. You leave a legacy every single day. So when you go back into the office tomorrow, or, after the weekend, if you're listening to this on the weekend, I really want you to consider the kind of impact that you're making and what kind of legacy that you are leaving on that day. Consider that on the Monday when you go into work, and really ask yourself those deep and meaningful questions and get back to me. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Connect with me on Instagram. Drop me an email. All of my details are in the show notes, and I cannot wait to hear from you about the frigging legacy that you are leaving, because making work meaningful is a collective movement, and I'm really glad you are in the gang. That's over and out for me for today, and I will see you in the next episode. Until then, keep being brilliant. How good was that episode? If you liked it, be sure to share it with a couple of other people. Also in the show notes are details about my newsletter. Keep in touch. I send a newsletter out around once a month. It won't be spammy. It will be very practical. And if we're not connected on LinkedIn yet, we must be. Connect with me on LinkedIn. And on Instagram, I am Prina.Shah. I will see you somewhere else or in the next episode. Until then, goodbye.